we could do something else that might make you feel a bit better. What about this one? Oh, you've stolen my screen off me. There we go. I've got it back. So let's have a look.
My God.
So
how good was this?
This is
this
very
is
quick.
Trump's parade, right?
Yeah, this is not.
That's a lot of people.
Because this is lots of people. This is not Trump's parade.
Yeah.
That's
how you tell the difference.
This is a tweet that Gavin Newsom put out today. It's just 15 seconds, and he just wanted to highlight the differences between the No King protests and Trump's march, parade, birthday present. San Diego, Philadelphia, Madison, Wisconsin, Dallas, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco. Now, the only thing I think that Gavin Newsom got wrong is he's only just done like 2,100 locations, Chewie. 2,100 locations. There are people who were saying 5 million, and then the other estimate that came out was 4 to 6 million Americans. 2% of the population. 2% of the population getting out.
Pat, I have seen the final count.
Oh,
it is
okay.
Probably closer to 11 million people went out into the streets.
Oh, well, I watched the clip just before we started the show, but okay. Well, but look, whether it was
are you taking the
5 or
stats
10
from? Are you taking the stats from the New Zealand police, because they're really good at counting numbers?
It's very good. The other thing that's happening is, and this is from Russia. This is Russia's stab, or someone within Russia, I guess. But I don't think much goes out without Putin. This is Russia's stab at him. Is this the right one? Oh no, this is not. Sorry, this is for Republicans against Trump. There's a bunch of people who are doing the parade Trump thought he was getting and the parade he really got. So there's a parade that he thought he was getting. It's pretty impressive, eh? I mean, weird, but impressive. And any second now, the parade he got.
Oh, this is what triggered me so much when I was watching it, Pat.
I don't know how much this music's going to be copyrighted and we're going to get them booted off. Here's another one. The parade Trump thought he was getting. We'll turn it down a bit behind us so we can talk over it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had a lot of thoughts. In my youth, I was in the Air Cadets, and we did a lot of drill and marching.
Yeah.
And there was pretty much a universal criticism if the marching was sloppy, is that you're not marching, you're wombling. And that is wombling. That's my favourite guy. That's my favourite guy.
The guy who's carrying the drone.
Who's carrying a drone.
Not even flying it. He's just carrying the
drone.
The
whole thing. Yeah, well, you got to conserve those batteries. But yes, I reckon that image alone of some guy carrying a drone has increased the chances of China invading Taiwan in the next 5 years by at least 70%.
I reckon that the squeaky wheel, man. The squeaky wheel was like, how quiet does a parade have to be? How quiet does the crowd have to be able to literally hear the squeaky wheels on the squeaky tank going past? Here's another one. Someone just asking who did this. I'll go back a bit. This goes a bit long. We'll show. So there's some of the footage from his.
They reckon to touch over 8,000 people turned up to this.
The bleachers.
That's horrible.
I mean, it's like to be fair, right? I mean, I've also heard they said 250,000 were going to be there, and there was only 100,000. You're saying 8 to 10,000. I guess I don't want to get caught up too much in the numbers. What it is his was a complete failure, and the counter protest, big yawn coming. Marco Rubio's a bit bored. The counter protest was huge. Whatever the actual split was, let's not get caught up in it was 8,000. It was actually technically 93,000. It doesn't matter. It was empty stadiums, empty bleachers. Trump barely able to stay awake. Empty bleachers there.
Yeah.
Not a brown face to be seen. Notice that?
Fox was really struggling to have any footage that wasn't just like a tight shot on 4 or 5 people. There
Well,
were
that's
no wide
I
shots.
think that's exactly what one of the ones. Here we go. So that's I don't know if this is Fox or not, but this is the tight shot.
That's right in front of the review stand. That's where you'd want to be.
And then
If you
accidentally,
wanted to be there.
they took a wide shot.
Oh, that is rough.
So
yeah,
also, what about this as well? We can go through a bit of this as well. The No Kings anti-Trump protest attracts millions, organisers say. A state of play, more than 5 million people took part in No Kings demonstrations in over 2,100 cities and towns across the country, with additional 300 Kick Out the Clowns rallies being held. Philadelphia saw more than 100,000 attendees, Chicago 75,000. Smaller towns such as Pentland, Michigan, reported 400 in a town of 800. Organisers said half the town turned out. And on and on and on. Chewie, you were going to say.
And some of those locations are in deep red states, like Idaho, as an example. Yeah. They had big turnouts and that sort of thing. So one of the things I saw bandied around is when you're talking as a percentage of the population, there is a theory, and I've quoted some of this previously, but if you can get about 3 to 4% of your population motivated enough to come out into the streets, that government does not survive the next election.
Well, Chewie, this happened. We've already seen this. When Donald Trump won last time, 2016, there was a huge round of protests, and in the midterms, there was a historically bad midterms for them, where they lost something like 49 seats in the Senate or in the House, and the power changed, and these are bigger, but exponentially bigger than the protests last time. So, we're probably 10 months away, maybe 12 months away from midterms. It's going to be really interesting.
The other interesting tipping point when you're talking about a motivated population out on the streets for protest is when it's 8 to 10%, you are talking about a change in your society. You are talking about something like Arab Spring or some sort of revolution. So that's how thin the margins can be on something like this. As far as Trump's birthday parade went, as someone with an interest in military matters, the comparison with the other nations that do these big military reviews, your North Korea, your China, your Russia, France, all of these other places that do these big parades, they have a dedicated place for it. They're lining up so the equipment looks really impressive, and that there's lots of it, and all of your soldiers have been practicing for ages to look like that they can march. As someone that has been around marching and that sort of thing, I was shocked to see how sloppy and shit these army guys were. And look, there's an argument that the US Army has had for decades about why they don't do big parades and reviews for the public like that, is that they're a force of war fighters. We don't want to train to march around and look pretty. We're there to accomplish the mission, set and destroy our enemy, and that sort of thing.
They don't spend months practice marching.
This.
Yeah, they don't spend.
And that has been a valid argument.
Citizen Gold asked a question that I was going to ask, but he's done a super chat, so we should use his. The sloppy marching was malicious compliance. Third try at the super chat. So I don't know if but I don't know if they do that. I mean, I think the one thing in America in particular is the whole commander in chief. And I mean, would the army really basically do their version of flipping the bird as they walk past, or are they just sloppy? If they're your two options, I'd lean towards sloppy. But
yeah, it's an interesting choice. It's one that a lot of people have noticed. So I don't know. I wonder if there'll be a confirmation of like, oh, we did it because of this. The other thing was, and it's directed at one particular person that I saw in that parade. In some of the armored vehicles that came on, there was a Bradley commander who was a black woman, and I just thought as she rolled past the review stand with Trump and Hegseth there. Hegseth especially has been wanting to scrub out anything to do with DEI in the military. And I just wanted to know what thoughts were going through her head You know, someone who has trained and is now the commander of a crew in a vehicle, as she rolled past someone that doesn't want her there, doesn't want her to have that role, that doesn't want her to have any sort of prominence, that is just basically saying if you're a woman or you're black in our military, you're there for other reasons.